You're about to see the biggest bodybuilder who ever lived. Not biggest on stage, biggest ever. Over 330 pounds of muscle, arms pushing 25 inches, a chest nearly 70 inches wide. When he walked into a gym, people stopped lifting. They just stared, because standing next to him felt like standing beside a wall of muscle. His name was Greg Kovacs, a man who once weighed over 420 pounds in the off-season. For a brief moment, the bodybuilding world believed he might become the largest champion in history. But there was one problem. He might have been too big for bodybuilding. Greg Kovacs was born in Niagara Falls, Canada. Before bodybuilding, he played sports, hockey, soccer. But eventually, he discovered the weight room, and something clicked. Greg didn't train for aesthetics. He trained for size. More plates, more mass, more muscle. Every year, his body grew bigger. Soon, rumors started spreading. There was a guy in Canada who looked too big to be real. By the late 1990s, Greg Kovacs had become something bodybuilding had never seen before. Height, 6'4". Contest weight, around 330 pounds. Off-season weight, over 420 pounds. His arms measured around 25 inches, sometimes even larger in his prime. His chest stretched close to 70 inches. His legs measured around 35 inches. Standing next to him felt surreal. Even professional bodybuilders looked smaller. Some fans thought the photos were fake. Others believed bodybuilding had reached a new extreme. But his size came with a problem. Bodybuilding rewards muscle, but there is a limit. Past a certain point, size stops helping and starts hurting. Greg Kovacs was not just big, he was enormous. Too enormous for the sport's standards. His massive frame made conditioning extremely difficult. While other competitors arrived shredded, Greg often appeared smoother, and the judges noticed. Fans were confused. How could the largest bodybuilder alive struggle on stage? But his strength was just as extreme. Greg Kovacs trained with ridiculous weight. Incline presses near 500 pounds, military presses close to 400 pounds, leg presses over 2,000 pounds. When he trained, the gym often stopped, not because of noise, because everyone wanted to watch. Watching the biggest bodybuilder alive lift iron was a spectacle. Greg earned his IFBB Pro card in 1996. Fans expected domination, a new era of mass monsters. But the stage told a different story. Yes, he was gigantic, maybe the biggest bodybuilder ever. But bodybuilding is not judged on size alone. Conditioning matters, symmetry matters, balance matters. Despite his unbelievable mass, Greg never dominated the Olympia stage, and the debate began. Had bodybuilding discovered the absolute limit of muscle? Greg Kovacs never became Mr. Olympia, but he achieved something else. He became a legend of extreme size. The man who pushed muscle mass further than anyone before him. At his peak, he looked less like a bodybuilder and more like a human experiment in mass. A glimpse of what happens when genetics and obsession collide. But extreme bodybuilding often comes with a cost. In 2013, Greg Kovacs passed away. He was only 44 years old. The cause was heart failure. The news shocked the bodybuilding world, because giants don't seem mortal until they are. Today, Greg Kovacs is still remembered for one thing: unmatched size. Even decades later, fans ask the same question: how big can the human body really become? Greg Kovacs may not have been the greatest champion, but he became something just as rare: the biggest bodybuilder the sport had ever seen.